Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. Today I'm going to go over the 4 things that changed my trading the most. I'm going to talk about what were the things that boost my confidence the most, which ones were the most important steps, and which ones were the most important factors to boost my confidence in my trading and my trading overall. I'm going to talk about 4, which are getting hit in the face, communities, going independent, and data. The timestamps are going to be down in the description if you want to check them out, but let's get into the video, starting with the first one, which is getting hit in the face. Let's rewind back a little bit and think about the good old days when our parents would tell us, don't do this, don't do that, you're gonna hurt yourself. And what did we end up doing? We ended up doing that exact same thing they told us not to do, and what would happen? We would hurt ourselves. How did they know? Well, maybe the fact that they have 30 years of experience helps them to understand easily why this is going to hurt us and why we should not do this. I can tell you a dozen things that I've done right, I can tell you a dozen things that I've done wrong, just like I've heard from other people telling me those exact same things. But mostly we learn from our own experience and getting skin in the game. And when it comes to psychological factors in the market, I would definitely say that only 10% of our knowledge comes from what people tell us to do, and 90% of it comes from experience. This also ties in with Mike Tyson's quote, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Because once again, anyone can tell you, don't do this, don't do that, this is how this works, this is how this works, but you are still going to make those same mistakes and you are still going to learn mostly from the market or from yourself. Like the knowledge might already be there, but you only start to apply it when you actually see how you have to apply it, which is kind of by making mistakes. And this is why getting punched in the face was one of the things that changed my trading the most. Experience is something that will make your trading change the most. But I don't think that this is true for everything, which takes me to my next point, which is communities, a profitable strategy. I think this is something you can learn, and I think this is something that you could or should pay for. But it also takes experience to actually master that strategy. But let's use another analogy. Let's say that you are going to a whole new country. Are you going to use a GPS or are you going to try to find the way out for yourself? Well, you can obviously do both, but which one is going to be the hardest one? I think that in trading and any other endeavor, it's the same thing. You either can walk the path that has already been proven to take you to your goal, which is probably consistency and profitability, or you can choose to take your own path, make things a little bit harder for yourself, but maybe you'll feel more fulfilled. I prefer to take the path that has been proven to take me to my destination, meaning that I've always taken a lot of value from communities, a lot of value from the strategies that I've traded so far, and actually have proven themselves profitable statistically. But one thing is also true, that if you have one goal, it's not just one path that is going to take you there, it's various paths. And that's what I've done in my trading so far. I've been in 3 different communities, I've learned concepts from other things too, meaning that I have changed paths, and I think this is perfectly fine if you're not just changing paths every time something gets hard. But all of these communities, all of these strategies, all of these concepts have helped me actually being closer to reaching that meta goal, meaning the overall goal of consistency and profitability. Some people think that this is the wrong way to do it, and I'm sorry if you're that person, but I do not agree with you, and I've done a video separately on this, which is going to be linked in the top right corner if you want to check it out. And what I learned from these communities really helped me in my next point, which is going independent. Going independent was a big step in my journey because for the first time I had no one to back my trades with. I had no mentor to which I could compare my trades to. For the first time, I either stick to my plan or I didn't, and I had to back myself up, which really boosted my confidence. I learned to trust myself, and I learned to learn from different sources too, which improved my processes a lot, taking me to my next point, which is data. This was and is right now such a crucial part in my trading. Finally, having a solid way to collect data that I came up with myself, meaning I came up with these ways of collecting data by inspiring myself in other people's templates and other people's ideas. And I think this is key. Actually, you creating something, I think you're going to value it a lot more. So basically, I learned to work with Notion, I learned to work with Excel kind of, and I learned to program a little bit too, which helped me quite a lot to produce these type of templates and so on, which aren't out of this world, but they are something that I created myself, and that's really nice. And now I have lots of data where I can just filter through in Notion, where if I want to know something about a trading session, about a take profit, about stop losses, I can just check it out for myself in my own data. Data for each pair, each day, each hour, each session, stop losses, take profits, percentages, win rates, all these things is something that I have in my templates that if I want to check out, I can simply go onto there and filter it and have that data. And I think that's very important to boost my confidence and know what I can expect from the markets and what I have to replicate and what I have to avoid. So I look at my wins and I see what's the common factor in these wins, and I look at the losses and I look at what's the common factor in these losses. And I think that that's very important to be able to do that. Even if you don't look at, for example, trading sessions, at least you have the data there. So if in the future you want to check it out, you can just filter it and there you have it. If there's anything that I find important to backtest, I either go all the way back and backtest the whole thing again, or I go back to the data that I already have and just add those confluence factors on top. And how much repetitive data do I have? Quite a bit. But I think that's key to putting this information into my unconscious. And if you want to get something into your unconscious, repetition is going to be the catalyst for that to happen. So I really recommend repetition, 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 and that's why the name is data, data, data. But yeah, putting all this information into your subconscious, reaching a stage where you don't have to think extensively before taking a trade, before doing your forecast, that's a really important step in your journey. So yeah, it takes personal experience to understand that the person that you currently are and the person that you are going to be in a year, or that you are going to be when you're trading 6, 7, 8 figures, it's not going to be the same at all. You cannot expect to predict how you are going to react to a win or a loss in a year, or you cannot expect to know how you are going to react when you have a 10% trade in a 7-figure account. It's just something that is not possible to predict. And I learned this from a very successful trader that I personally know, and he that is trading multiple figures accounts. It's a whole new game when you're at the top. So just wanted to reiterate that it's going to be very different. And if someone is trying to sell you the psychological formula to beat the market, let me tell you that that's probably not going to be something that much more valuable than basic knowledge like a Trading in the Zone book, because 90% of it is going to come through having skin in the game, while 10% of it is going to come from actual theory. So what you need is that 10% of knowledge, put it in your brain, and then actually experience it. So let's go back to the analogy of our parents, where they tell us this is going to hurt if you do it, and then you actually do it, and you already knew that it hurt, but you still did it. But now you know from personal experience that you shouldn't do that again. And I think that in the market, most of it is going to happen too. So yeah, I hope this video helped in any way, shape or form. Let me know your opinion in the comment sections. I read all your comments and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next week. Peace.